Welcome back into the Sports Source, the segment of our program brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. And I'm always telling you that Parkside Cabin Rentals has the best selection of cabins in the Smokies. It is true. And when you rent from Parkside, you get free parking in downtown Gatlinburg, just like this fella, who they walked outside their offices this week and saw him sitting in their car. Somebody had left the window roll down, so he just hopped in there and apparently destroyed the upholstery before deciding to get out. But free parking in downtown Gatlinburg, whether you're a human or a bear. And if you want to see some bears from a distance, rent a cabin from Parkside Cabin Rentals. They have all the best selections up there in the Smokies. The Ogle family will take good care of you. Even if you're a bear destroying their truck, they'll let you get away with it. All right, let's welcome in the VFLs for today. We have Daniel Hood, who's been with us many, many times.
Yep.
New to our panel, we have his former teammate, former Vol captain, Marlon Walls, back with us for the first time.
There we go.
Marlon, good to have you.
There we go. Good to have you.
And next to you, back with us. That's where I was going to say. Back Sterling Hinton, former Vol quarterback. All right, gentlemen. I want to get your takes as players, and then Marlon, you've been a high school head coach for a while, so you can talk to us, give us your perspective on this question as well. Up 45-10 at the half, I thought it might be wise for the Vols to just kind of hand it off to the running backs, just kind of dial it back. Hendon Hooker has shown that he's taken some hard hits so far this season. So I was like, don't run him. They immediately came out and ran him 4 times on the first series in the second half, which is their offense. I get that. They're up 55-17 after 3 quarters. I'm like, okay, sit him down. He still keeps going out there. So I'm going to ask you fellas, was it too risky to keep playing him that deep in the game when he's already shown that he takes some tough shots from now and again? Or are the live game reps that valuable that you put him out there in the fourth quarter and just do what you do? Daniel?
I'm going to go with it's that valuable. Up until that point of the game, he really hadn't controlled that much percentage of your offense compared to what he had done against Florida and against Pitt, where he was at 47 and 52% of your offense. And there's something about a new player getting those reps, getting in there, developing a new move. You see it in running backs all the time. The first game of the season, they can barely make a jump cut. Second, third game, they start to develop just a little more skills. And let's be honest, beating Missouri is a huge first step for this team, but you really need him against some of the later games where that's going to give you your real recruiting that you need. And so you need him to play better. And 4 or 5 after that, you can say, hey, let's shut it down. Now we got something on film that we can teach off of.
Marlon?
I'm going to go with, I'm going to take a different take. You want to trust the process of what the coaches are doing. You understand that they have a job to do. They know what they're doing as far as getting reps. And usually in that situation with a quarterback, they've got a guy on sort of like a pitch count. We want you to get this amount of snaps in this game, or this is the reason why. But the reason why I'm going to take a different take is because this guy has been banged up before. We finally see now that he's in a flow. He knows how to control his offense. And this is something we haven't seen in the first couple games. You see this guy in his groove. Now let's take this guy out. It's a little bit out of control. Let's go ahead and go with a different quarterback just in case we do fall in a situation where somebody gets hurt, get banged up. This guy now can come in and find his own groove in the offense. So from that standpoint, I'm going to say we should have pulled him on out of there.
All right, so we're going to let Sterling split the panel here.
And it's amazing. I'm really splitting the panel. This is truly amazing.
Usually you're off on your own thing.
Usually I'm on my own island, the bang, 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 but it's amazing. I want to listen with Tank and what Daniel said. I agree with both because it's a rhythmic offense. You have to be in rhythm. And that once that offense is in that rhythm, you don't want it to stop. You want it to keep going. You want it to get almost second nature to it. We're creatures of habit. So if you get into that flow, you don't want it to stop. But in that fourth quarter, I may have been one of the coaches saying, Coach Hyper, let's get Hook out of there. And let's give him some reps, some game reps. So maybe that flow will flow over to him and leave some of the other guys out there. Incredible game by Hook. I know we're going to talk about that more later. But that would be my take on it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to get him the extra reps, but if he gets hurt, you better get some more reps. You're going to have to fix Joe Milton at some point. Right. So you need him getting reps as well. I just wonder, you go back. We're talking about Jabari Small, who's still dealing with a banged up shoulder. He hurt that on a give-up play at the end of the first half in a game earlier this year, where you're sitting there going, why not just take a knee here? Why are you doing that? And Bob Hodge texted me or called me yesterday during the game and said, Why is Tyon Evans back in there in the fourth quarter? It's 55-17. Do you not have let Lynette Whitehead run it into the line here? Here's the thing. Nobody got hurt yesterday. But they better be prepared for criticism if somebody does in that situation. Let me ask you this. How much of it is, hey, look, it's our offense. We do what we do. If somebody gets hurt, they get hurt. So be it. We just run our offense. There are some people that look at it that way. That wouldn't be how I looked at it. I would be more cautious. But your thoughts on that view?
That one's tough.
Well, I'll take it. I think that's exactly what's going on. But you have other guys also taking reps in that same offense. I mean, you got your starters out there who did an awesome job yesterday and got the team up by a lot of points going into the fourth quarter. Let's reward some other guys running that same offense. And I'm not a coach. I enjoyed watching that yesterday. So coach had a lot to do with that. But it's just my opinion.
I just mean if you've got an RPO offense, it's tough to say, okay, we're going to take the quarterback runs out of it. But I would have.
Yes.
We're up by 30 points. I'm not worried about what we're just killing time here.
And see, that's my point. I think if we've got a deep roster, I understand it. We don't have a deep roster. We cannot take the risk of keeping a guy in there too long. This guy sustaining an injury in a game that's pretty much out of reach. We can't take that risk. Let's go ahead and get a younger guy in and get that guy some game reps. That guy's practicing just like everybody else, so he knows the playbook. And if he don't, the best reps is game reps, is my opinion in that situation.
You stand your ground, or has anybody convinced you?
No, I stand my ground on it because you've got to, especially in the third quarter, you got to come out and just take away all hope from Missouri.
Yeah,
but one of the best coaching lessons that we ever had was a game we won big, and we're all jacked up. We're going into the meetings thinking coach is going to pat us on the back for the first time, and he goes in there on a big win, and he's able to coach us harder on every little detail that we messed up.
I remember that game.
Yeah, and it's one of those moments that we took more from that win staying in, and then I'm talking about it was one of the worst cuss outs that we ever got. And it was
this
like,
Kiffin or Dooley or Jones?
This was Coach Strip.
This is Jones. This is Jones.
Yeah, after we upset South Carolina that year, we were all jacked up. Defensive line played great. I think
we thought
Coach
we played
Strip
great.
broke his fist on the table that
we
meeting.
thought we played great.
All right. Well, I tell you what, these two played for three different coaches, and we'll get into that and how quickly you know if you're going to buy into a coach a little later in the show. And just how big was this victory for Tennessee's players? Because at some point, we're talking about recruits seeing something out there that you can sell. These players seem to have bought into Heupel. We'll ask these guys, how big was that win to give them a reward? So we got plenty to come, including next. I'm moving Daniel to Team Vulture this week. So you're going to be three down. Marlon, we're giving you an easy start. You're going to be starting a 3 up. Yes, so 3 up, 3 down next. And then we're going to get into how much stock you put in this win. We'll get into a preview of South Carolina. Chucky C-Note Casino has got to put out their official line later on. We'll look at who's leading the pick segment, at least for one more week. And we got much more to come. Come on back on the Sports Source.